Hi everyone, quick question before we dive in. What did you eat for dinner last night? Because here is something I find myself telling patients all the time. Heart disease is not just about cholesterol or blood pressure. A massive piece of the puzzle is happening right now quietly in your gut. Trillions of tiny bacteria live inside you. Some of them, depending on what you feed them, can produce a molecule that quietly raises your heart risk. It is called TMAO, and today I'm going to explain exactly what it is, which foods drive it, and most importantly, what you can do about it. No jargon, no fear-mongering, just the science and some simple practical steps. I'm Dr. Pachipala, who is board certified in internal medicine, hematology and oncology, and I practice in Greater Houston area. What is the science and how it works? When you eat red meat, eggs, or full-fat dairy, certain gut bacteria get to work on two specific nutrients, L-carnitine and choline. They break these nutrients down into a molecule called TMA. Your liver then converts TMA into TMAO, trimethylamine N-oxide, and higher TMAO levels in your blood have been consistently linked to more plaque in your arteries, stickier platelets, and more inflammation. Basically a recipe for heart trouble. So why does this affect some people more than others? Now here is the part I find genuinely fascinating. Not everyone produces the same amount of TMAO from the same foods. It completely depends on which bacteria living in your gut. Some people harbor a lot of TMA producing bacteria, species like Clostridia and Enterobacteriaceae. Others barely have any. So two people could sit down to the exact same meal and one of them spikes their TMAO while the other barely moves. Their gut microbiome makes the difference. Just giving an example, I have two friends similar age, one eating meat daily and one eating once a week. One has plaques in the heart and another one is clean. It is obvious that my friend eating a lot of meat is spiking TMAO, while the other friend not so much. So we'll get to that why it happens in the next section. So which foods are we talking about? Let me walk you through the main ones. Highest risk to the lowest risk. Highest risk contains red and processed red meat such as beef, lamb is by far the richest source of L-carnitine. Processed meat such as bacon, sausages and delicates add salt and preservatives on top, and the effect is dose dependent. Occasional red meat in an otherwise plant-forward diet, far less concerning. Daily large portions, that's where we need to talk. So moderate risk, eggs and chicken. Egg yolks are high in choline, another TMAO precursor. Eggs have genuine nutritional value, so I'm not telling you to cut them out entirely. But if red meat is already a regular feature, eggs are adding to that load. Low to moderate risk, full-fat dairy milk, cheese, cream, they contain choline and phosphatidylcholine, which can also be converted to TMAO. The effect is meaningfully smaller than red meat, so keep it in perspective. The low risk, fish. Fish does not technically rise TMAO. I want to be upfront about it. Fish does technically rise TMAO, but it also delivers omega-3 fatty acids, which are actually protective for your heart. The omega-3s appear to counteract the TMAO effect, so the fish stays firmly on the green list. The lowest risk is the plant-based food. So let's discuss the vegan or vegetarian microbiome. I want to discuss a study that changes how you think about this. So there was a study published in Circulation, one of cardiology's most respected journals. The researchers gave the same exact dose of L-carnitine, which is the meat substrate for TMAO, to both meat eaters and vegans. Same amount, same conditions. Then they measured TMAO levels in the blood. The meat eaters' TMAO levels climbed significantly. The vegans, almost nothing moved. Not because the vegans ate less carnitine in the experiment, they got the same dose, but because they simply did not have the TMA producing bacteria to act on it. Years of plant-rich diet had essentially starved those bacteria out of existence. I'm not here to tell you everything needs to be vegan, but this study teaches us something powerful. What you eat consistently shapes who lives in your gut, and those residents shape your heart risk every single day. It's not just what you eat, it's what your gut does with it, and you can change that. So what else does a plant-fed microbiome do for your heart? When you feed your gut bacteria fiber and plants, the good ones thrive, and they're not just sitting there doing nothing. They produce short-chain fatty acids, a molecule like butyrate and propionate that lower inflammation, relax blood vessels, and improve cholesterol metabolism. metabolism. They convert plant polyphenols from berries, tea, and cocoa into compounds that reduce oxidative stress and support healthy arteries. Some even produce vitamin K2, which helps prevent calcium from building up in artery walls. So feed your fiber-loving microbes and they'll be making tiny protective compounds for your heart every single day. Now, what can you actually do to help with this process? You have more control than you think. Here is what I love about this topic. The research does not just tell us what is wrong, it tells us exactly what to change, starting at your very next meal. Number 1, eat more plants, less red meat, less processed meat. It actually means less L-carnitine and choline hitting your gut, less substrate for TMAO production. Occasional red meat in a mostly plant-forward diet is okay. Eating heart-healthy diets such as Mediterranean diet or DASH diet helps you to focus more on foods that protect your heart. Number 2, load up on fiber and prebiotics. This is probably the single most impactful change for most of my patients. Fiber feeds your good bacteria, the ones that produce short-chain fatty acids. Crowd out TMA producers and keep your gut lining healthy. Think fiber-rich foods such as whole grains, beans, lentils, vegetables, fruits daily, not occasionally. Number 3, add fermented foods such as yogurt, kefir, kimchi. These introduce beneficial bacteria and help shift your microbiome in a healthier direction over time. Some strains like bifidobacterium show early promise in lowering TMAO. Think of this as a bonus on top of a good diet, not a replacement for one. So basically, your gut bacteria love a plant-forward, fiber-packed, colorful plate, and your heart loves it too. So personally, my diet, 99% of my diet is plant-forward. I do take dairy daily, mainly in the form of a Greek yogurt, but predominantly is plant-forward diet. Let's discuss about a balanced take on red meat. Is red meat the villain here? I want to be clear, red meat is not poison. The risk is real, but it's tied to frequency, portion size, how it is cooked, and what the rest of your diet looks like. Occasional red meat within a mostly plant-based pattern, much lower risk. Eating red meat every day and only a little bit fiber, that's where the problem comes. Conclusion, here are the take-home points. Your gut microbiome is a key player in your cardiovascular health, not just your digestion. Some bacteria take nutrients from your food and produce a molecule that promotes plaque formation and produce a molecule that promotes plaque in the arteries, inflammation, and platelet reactivity. But you can shift the balance by feeding the good ones and starving the bad. More plants, more fiber, more fermented foods, less frequent red meat, less sugar, a dietary pattern like Mediterranean or DASH diet. These are not dramatic all or nothing changes. They are consistent, sustainable choices that genuinely move the needle on your heart health. As always, these are general principles. For your specific situation, talk to your own doctor. That's what we are here for. If this video helped, like it and share it, especially with anyone who loves steak and hates plaque. Subscribe for more science-backed health content, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.